Hey everyone, your friendly neighborhood Pants is back with another siege video. Today we're up against SnappingTurtle and 2ManyWaifus. After losing the last siege we fell to G2 but matched against the G3 and 2ManyWaifus, which has a ton of LDs. So I made sure to hit a couple of them along with a whole bunch of twin comps. I'm going to talk about the teams I bring and discuss different counters I may try against the defenses I lost to. So let's get into the video. Alright, this first match is against Matt Ho's, Zenobia, Shaina, Clara, and I'm bringing Kamoon, Rakuni, and Rena. I think a lot needs to go wrong for this team to lose. Zenobia, of course, is going to get tanked by the Rena. Shaina and Clara will target the fire monsters here, but as long as Zenobia doesn't switch targeting, it's pretty safe. The twins are often built tanky, at least in G3, they are mostly built tanky. I did notice some more glass cannon type builds in this siege, but if you are going to build a twins team, I highly recommend building a more tanky. Anyways, in this case, it worked like a charm. Rakuni kept everyone healed up, and Kamoon just slowly ticks everyone down. I like to kill Shaina first because the stuns are annoying along with the defense break. Clara, of course, has the stuns too, but the defense break is scary from Shaina. Once Shaina's dead, Zenobia is just going to keep hitting Rena, and it's kind of a free win from that point. So GG's to Matt Ho. Alright, next I hit Always Wins, Zenobia, Martina, Shaina. A few sieges back, this team actually gave me a lot of trouble. I tried to do different versions of tanking it, and it did not work out. Martina, along with Zenobia, Shaina, is just really oppressive, so this time I didn't want to take any chances. I just brought Lucian and outsped and wiped him in one hit. I think that is a much safer route to go than trying to tank 3 twins at once, because they're just gonna hit you a ton. Next up we have a Zenobia Deva Clara, very similar to the Shaina one. In this case I'm bringing Malite and Antares and Tetra. This one probably has a decent chance of losing, though I think as long as Malite gets one turn to use a skill 2, you're in a pretty good boat. Tetra will of course heal despite being stunned, so she's just a solid support here, kind of like Rakuni is. And then Antares will hopefully steal some turns to deal some damage and, you know, kill them a bit faster. That won't work if he gets stun locked, so there's a bit of RNG there, but in this case it worked just fine for me, so GG to TNT Bunny there. Alright, next I hit a Martina, Shaina, Triana, which I haven't seen in a while since Karkano took over the meta, but I just brought a classic water twins and Shaman comp. Shaman to tank Martina and get defense broken, so Shaina will target her as well, or him. I don't know if Shaman is a girl or a boy, but whatever. As long as it's defense broken, everyone's going to target him instead. Unfortunately, this time around, it starts out pretty good, and then it just takes a turn for the worse. Shaina does skill 2 and defense breaks both of my twins and stuns Sabrina, and then Triana sleeps Talia, and then they get procs and kill Sabrina, and then it's like I just don't take a turn from there. It's just, it started out just fine, like normal RNG, and then it was like, alright, well, I guess I lose. So that was a rough one. Of course, I'm not just going to sit on a loss. I'm going to retry it. This time I'm bringing my Yaku comp, which has been unruined for a while since, again, I haven't seen Martina much. But I moved runes around to bring Yaku because I was upset about that loss and wanted to make sure I got the win this time. This Martina actually is relatively tanky, but nothing too crazy. I have hit Martinas before where they're still at like 60% HP before my Yaku hits them, but this time it was more like 33%, 40%. So Yaku continues to be a very safe counter to Martina, Shaina, Triana, so I highly recommend building it if you happen to see lots of Martina, Shainas in your meta. Alright, so immediately after the Martina, Shaina, Triana, I went and hit Max Payne's Martina, Shaina, and Hwadam, which I think is an easier version of the comp, really. I've never had any trouble just bringing Julie into a Hwadam. Unfortunately, this time around, the team was on all will and was slow. I was not expecting him to be so slow, so my Galleon moved before everyone, and so my Julie only had an attack buff and no defense break. That said, again, they weren't built very tanky. It was more so glass cannon build, I guess, and Julie was able to cut through him pretty easily. So that's another reason why you should rune your twins tanky. A lot of the damage from twins comes more so from the defense break they land and the fact that they just take a bunch of turns. So if you're running twins on defense, I recommend a tanky build. I understand the urge to build glass cannon for, you know, using them in dungeons and that kind of thing, but and also for rifts and raids. But we have 2 back-to-back Julie wins. This time I made sure Julie was the leader skill because I did not want to, you know, chance getting first turn again with Galleon. I wanted to make sure I landed the defense break and not had a silly loss like that. Then I hit another Martina, Shaina, Triana. I saw that was 0-3, so I brought Galleon, Clara, Light Chun-Li, which I have not used in a while since Light Chun-Li's nerf. Here I'm thinking it's a G2 Siege, and it has a bad record, so I, you know, have a decent shot. But that was really just stupid of me to underestimate them. I should have, you know, ruined up my second Yaku and just got a safe win. But I risked it with not moving any runes around and got an unnecessary loss there. So, kind of dumb. After that, we have 2 LD matches that I'm going to fight. The first one is Sylvia, Shazam, and Fermion, which is kind of nasty. I can't imagine having that that good of LD luck. I brought Bulwark, Amelia, and Molong. I finally moved my Amelia runes to Violent. Not this siege, but maybe like 5 or 6 sieges from after this one. Again, I'm still really behind, but anyways, I had her Swift for the Jean meta back when Jean was like all over the place, because I wanted her to take the first turn to put immunity up, and I mostly used Fang Amelia Dozer back then, but now I seem to be using Bulwark Amelia Molong a little more than Fang Amelia Dozer. So I have her now the slowest on the team in Violent, so hopefully I'll get some more consistency out of the current meta. Here against this team, the trouble would be that there's 2 strippers from Fermion and Sylvia, so I made sure to kill Sylvia first because she lowers the cooldowns and makes all 3 hit simultaneously, which is just absolutely brutal. I didn't want to play with that, so I got her out of the way first. It's still scary because they could be on Destroy. If Fermion's landing strips and provokes, that's very dangerous, especially after using Molong's skill 3 while he's already at low HP, that kind of thing. But in this case, I didn't seem to have much trouble. I got the Sylvia down, then killed Fermion next, and then it was just a 3v1 against Shazam, and worked like a charm. Alright, for the last match of the day, I'm hitting Flampix's Geldnir Vigor Theo, because anytime I see a Geldnir, I want to hit him. It lets me bring out my Orochi, and I love bringing out Orochi. I usually use Ethna alongside him as the defense break, though I think any defense breaker that's wind will do well here. Ritesh, Savannah, Chiangpeng, any of them would be great. Probably Chiangpeng would be the next best because he's got the multi-hits and the attack bar reduction, but even like a Wind Bruiser I think would work, like a Fengyan or a Xingzhe could work fine here. Main thing is to land a defense break and let Orochi do his job, and then Jean provoke, and it's pretty much GG's. I haven't lost with this comp against any Geldnir defense that I've hit yet. I think it could probably lose if like Jean doesn't land anything and Theo goes off and just happens to hit Orochi. I think Theo has a different AI targeting because of his passive. He always lands a crushing hit, so he won't necessarily just target fire because he's water. I could be wrong on that, but I think that's the case. So if he happened to target Orochi, do skill 2, land defense break into skill 1 kind of thing, then I could be in trouble, but that hasn't happened yet. So anyways, it's a fun offense against a neat defense. So that was the last one. Did pretty well this siege. If you want to check out another siege video, you can check it out in the top right corner, and I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.